What if the foods you eat every day are slowly damaging your body without you even realizing it? From breakfast cereals and instant noodles to packaged snacks and frozen meals, ultra-processed foods now make up more than half of the average diet in many countries. They're cheap, convenient, and incredibly tasty. But scientists are starting to uncover something disturbing. Research shows that diets high in ultra-processed foods are linked to obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. And the scary part is, most people have no idea how much of these foods they're actually eating. So what exactly are ultra-processed foods? Why are they so addictive? And what are they really doing inside your body? In this video, we're breaking down the science behind ultra-processed foods and revealing the hidden impact they may be having on your health. Take a look inside your kitchen for a moment. Open your refrigerator, scan your pantry shelves, and notice how many items come in colorful packages, sealed plastic wrappers, or cardboard boxes designed to last for months. These foods are everywhere in modern life. From breakfast cereals and instant noodles to frozen pizzas and packaged snacks, they have become a normal part of daily eating for millions of people around the world. But here's an important question most people rarely ask. What exactly are we eating when we consume these foods? Behind their convenience, affordability, and addictive taste lies something scientists call ultra-processed food. Over the past few decades, this category of food has quietly become one of the dominant sources of calories in modern diets. In many countries, more than half of daily calorie intake now comes from highly processed products created in factories rather than kitchens. Ultra-processed foods were originally designed to solve practical problems. They helped extend shelf life, reduce food waste, and make meals faster to prepare. In a fast-paced world where many people have little time to cook, these products promised convenience and accessibility. However, as consumption has increased, scientists have begun to notice worrying patterns linking ultra-processed diets to a growing number of health issues. Researchers around the world are now studying how these foods affect the human body, and the findings are raising serious concerns. From heart disease and obesity to metabolic disorders and even potential links to cancer. Evidence suggests that the way food is manufactured may matter just as much as the nutrients listed on the label. In this video, we're going to explore what ultra-processed foods actually are, why they have become so dominant in modern diets, and what research says about their effects on our health and society. By the end, you might start looking at packaged foods in a very different way. To understand the impact of ultra-processed foods, we first need to understand what makes them different from other types of food. Not all processing is harmful. In fact, many forms of food processing have existed for thousands of years. Cooking, fermenting, drying, and freezing food are all examples of traditional processing methods that help preserve food and make it safe to eat. Ultra-processed foods, however, are fundamentally different. Instead of simply preserving or preparing food, they involve complex industrial processes that transform raw ingredients into entirely new products. These foods are typically made from substances extracted from whole foods such as refined sugars, starches, oils, and proteins. These ingredients are then combined with additives like artificial flavors, emulsifiers, colorings, and preservatives to create products that look, taste, and feel appealing to consumers. One key characteristic of ultra-processed foods is that they often contain ingredients you would rarely use in a normal home kitchen. These may include chemical stabilizers, flavor enhancers, or texture modifiers that help maintain consistency and extend shelf life. While each additive is generally considered safe when evaluated individually, researchers are still trying to understand how long-term exposure to complex combinations of these substances might affect the body. Another defining feature is how these foods are designed to be extremely palatable. Food engineers carefully adjust the balance of sugar, fat, and salt to create flavors that are highly satisfying and difficult to resist. The goal is not simply to provide nutrition, but to encourage repeated consumption. Examples of ultra-processed foods include packaged snack foods, sugary breakfast cereals, instant noodles, soft drinks, processed meats, and ready-to-eat frozen meals. Many of these products contain little or no whole food ingredients, even though they may be marketed as convenient or healthy options. The rise of these products has dramatically changed the global food system. Instead of relying on fresh ingredients prepared at home, many people now depend heavily on foods that were designed, engineered, and packaged in large industrial facilities. The rapid rise of ultra-processed foods didn't happen by accident. Several powerful forces have shaped the way we eat today. First, convenience plays a huge role. In modern society, many people have demanding work schedules and limited time to cook meals from scratch. Ultra-processed foods offer a quick solution. They can be prepared in minutes, often requiring nothing more than heating in a microwave or opening a package. Second, these foods are usually inexpensive. Large-scale industrial production allows companies to manufacture them at a relatively low cost. Ingredients like refined grains, sugar, and vegetable oils are cheap and widely available, making it possible to produce large quantities of food at affordable prices. Third, marketing has had a major influence. Food companies invest billions of dollars every year promoting their products through advertisements, packaging design, and strategic placement in stores. Bright colors, catchy slogans, and convenient packaging make these foods highly appealing, especially to children and busy families. Another factor is shelf life. Unlike fresh fruits, vegetables, or homemade meals, ultra-processed foods can last for weeks or even months without spoiling. This makes them ideal for distribution through global supply chains and convenient for consumers who want food that can be stored for long periods. As a result of these advantages, ultra-processed foods have gradually become a central part of modern diets. However, as consumption has increased, researchers have started noticing patterns that suggest this shift may come with significant health consequences. One of the most widely discussed health concerns related to ultra-processed foods is their potential role in the global obesity epidemic. Over the past several decades, obesity rates have increased dramatically in many parts of the world, and scientists believe changes in dietary patterns may be a major contributing factor. Ultra-processed foods are often extremely energy-dense, meaning they contain a large number of calories in a relatively small portion. At the same time, they tend to be low in fiber and protein, two nutrients that help create a feeling of fullness. Because of this combination, people may consume more calories before feeling satisfied. Another factor is the speed at which these foods are eaten. Many ultra-processed products have soft textures that require little chewing. This allows people to eat them quickly, sometimes before the body has time to signal that it is full. Research suggests that when people eat quickly, they are more likely to consume excess calories without realizing it. The intense flavors of ultra-processed foods also play a role, because these foods are engineered to be extremely tasty. They can stimulate the brain's reward system in ways that encourage overeating. Some scientists even compare the experience to other highly rewarding behaviors, where the brain learns to seek out certain foods repeatedly. Studies have shown that people who consume higher amounts of ultra-processed foods tend to gain more weight over time compared to those who eat mostly minimally processed foods. While weight gain can be influenced by many factors, including physical activity and genetics, dietary patterns appear to be an important piece of the puzzle. Beyond weight gain, researchers are increasingly investigating how ultra-processed foods affect the body's metabolic systems. Metabolism refers to the complex processes through which the body converts food into energy and maintains essential functions. Diets high in ultra-processed foods often contain excessive amounts of sugar, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats. These nutrients can lead to rapid spikes in blood sugar levels, followed by sharp drops that trigger hunger and fatigue. Over time, repeated spikes in blood sugar may contribute to insulin resistance, a condition that increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In addition to diabetes, studies have linked high consumption of ultra-processed foods with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. These foods frequently contain large amounts of sodium and saturated fat, both of which are associated with high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol levels. Researchers have also explored possible connections between ultra-processed diets and certain types of cancer. While the relationship is still being studied, some evidence suggests that diets high in these foods may be associated with a slightly increased risk of certain cancers. Scientists believe this could be related to factors such as additives, chemical contaminants from packaging, or the overall nutritional profile of these products. It's important to note that these health outcomes are influenced by many different variables. However, the growing body of research suggests that diets dominated by ultra-processed foods may place significant stress on the body over time. Another emerging area of research focuses on how ultra-processed foods affect the gut microbiome. The human digestive system contains trillions of microorganisms that play an essential role in digestion, immune function, and overall health. A healthy gut microbiome depends heavily on dietary fiber, which is found in foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Unfortunately, many ultra-processed foods contain very little fiber because much of it is removed during manufacturing. Without enough fiber to feed beneficial bacteria, the balance of microorganisms in the gut can shift in ways that may promote inflammation and metabolic problems. Some scientists believe that disruptions to the gut microbiome could contribute to a wide range of conditions, including obesity, autoimmune diseases, and mental health disorders. In addition to low fiber content, certain additives used in ultra-processed foods may also influence gut health. Although these additives are considered safe in regulated amounts, researchers are still investigating how regular consumption might interact with the complex ecosystem of bacteria living in the digestive tract. The impact of ultra-processed foods extends beyond personal health. The way these foods are produced and distributed also affects the environment and society as a whole. Large-scale industrial food production requires significant amounts of energy, water, and agricultural resources. The manufacturing, packaging, and transportation of processed foods contribute to greenhouse gas emissions and environmental pollution. Packaging waste is another major concern. Many ultra-processed foods come in single-use plastic containers or multi-layer packaging that is difficult to recycle. As consumption increases, so does the volume of waste generated by the global food system. From a social perspective, the widespread availability of ultra-processed foods has also changed cultural relationships with food. Traditional cooking practices that once centered around fresh ingredients and shared meals are gradually being replaced by quick, individual consumption of packaged products. This shift may have broader implications for community health, family traditions, and the way future generations learn about food. Given these concerns, many experts recommend reducing reliance on ultra-processed foods and focusing more on whole or minimally processed ingredients. This doesn't mean eliminating all processed foods entirely. Some processing methods, such as freezing vegetables or pasteurizing milk, can actually help preserve nutrients and improve food safety. The key difference is whether food remains close to its natural form or has been heavily modified with industrial ingredients. Simple changes can make a meaningful difference. Cooking meals at home using fresh ingredients is one effective way to reduce exposure to ultra-processed foods. Choosing whole grains instead of refined products, eating more fruits and vegetables, and limiting sugary drinks are also widely recommended strategies. Reading ingredient lists can also help consumers make informed decisions. Products with long lists of unfamiliar additives are more likely to be heavily processed. Ultimately, improving dietary patterns doesn't require perfection. Even small steps toward eating more whole foods and fewer ultra-processed products can have positive effects on health over time. Ultra-processed foods have become deeply embedded in modern life. Their convenience, affordability, and powerful flavors make them difficult to avoid, especially in a world where time and resources are often limited. However, growing scientific evidence suggests that relying heavily on these foods may come with significant costs, from increased risks of obesity and chronic disease to potential impacts on gut health and the environment. The consequences extend far beyond a single meal. Understanding how these foods are produced and how they interact with the body is an important step toward making more informed choices. While ultra-processed foods are unlikely to disappear anytime soon, awareness can help individuals and societies move toward healthier, more balanced diets. In the end, food is more than just fuel. It shapes our health, our communities, and the future of our planet. And sometimes, the simplest foods, those closest to their natural state, may be the ones that nourish us best.